to tackle right now a question that I am asked surprisingly often. And the question is from women always, and it is, will I have more children? Will I become pregnant and have a baby? Am I pregnant now? Will I have a child? It's quite a common question that I get. And so I thought I would do a general video about the question. And also, one of the things I want to say is sometimes, maybe more often than not, when somebody asks that question, it's because they really, really want it and it's not happening. And because they're in the state of really wanting it and it's not happening, it can make them very programmable or susceptible to suggestion. And so I never in these sessions want to program somebody, because you create your own reality. And the future isn't predetermined. The future is based on a probability. That probability, that percentage likelihood of something happening, is based on the present time circumstances. And the present time circumstances can change. Sometimes when somebody asks that question, there might be a medical issue in their way. Sometimes when somebody asks that question, there might be an emotional or mental block in the way. Or there might not be a block at all. But what I want to say is that there's always a possibility and a probability. And if I was to tell you it is 10% likely that you'll get pregnant, that will color your reality and your way of thinking about it. It might prevent you even more from getting pregnant than before I said anything. And if I tell you you are 99% likely to get pregnant, well, maybe that would help you because you'd be positive and believing it will happen. But it's also someone else interjecting and affecting how you create your own reality. So whenever somebody asks me that question, you know, I'm happy to look at the physical, mental, and emotional things that are going on. And also what I normally do is that are going on right now that are affecting the likelihood that you will get pregnant, because that gives you information that is useful to you in the moment that you can change should you choose to. And the second thing that I do is I look to see if there is an agreement in spirit between you and a baby being, a being that is in agreement with being your child this lifetime. Because oftentimes there are agreements like that. And then we can say, well, I'm clearly seeing that there is 1 or 2 or 3 baby beings that are that you're intimately connected with. Now, that just because there is an agreement like that doesn't mean absolutely that pregnancy will happen, because everyone has free will and things can change. And if I don't see it, it doesn't mean absolutely it won't happen, because new agreements can be formed. So if it's something that you strongly desire, then you wouldn't be strongly desiring it if it wasn't a possibility for you. So let me, I'm going to just see if there's anything else that we should say as spirit on this matter. I'm seeing one of the things that women in this situation are often dealing with is self-worth. You know, not being good enough, wanting it but not feeling good enough to receive it. So doing some self-healing on the level of self-worth, believing that there's something wrong with me. And of course, you create your reality through your beliefs. So if you believe you're unworthy and there's something wrong with you, there will be, because you'll create it. Let's see what else comes up. That is the main thing. I'm being shown to talk about something else to do with the second chakra. So let me just see what that is. It looks like a common stuck belief, and it seems old-fashioned, but it looks like it's still relevant, is I am not really a woman unless I have a child. Or I've not shown my value as a woman unless I have a child. Or I've not pleased those around me who want me to have a child unless I have a child. And so my whole existence and acceptability into my marriage, family, and so on is dependent on me having a child. So there's an awful lot invested in I have to have a child, because it validates me. And if I don't have a child, I'm invalid. So I'm seeing that that's a big factor that is really, that people are operating off that belief, but it's not true. Let's see what else there is to say. Yeah, that your value as a woman isn't connected to your value, whether you become a mother or not. So I have two people this week who've asked this question, and so I'm going to just do a really, really quick look. And both of them are asking for a future prediction about will I have. So one of them, his name begins with R. Will I have a child? It looks like you're looking for a child to fill a gap in your own life. That there's the idea that if you have a child, then you will have love in your life. You will have somebody to love, and somebody that will love you unconditionally. So there is a hole in your life right now in that you don't feel like you have unconditional love and acceptance. And you will be a vibration for you will be a vibrational match for what you're asking for if you can fill yourself up with that love before you get pregnant. Because that's a lot of expectation on a new being coming in. You know, you're meant to solve all my problems and be the answer to all my problems. I'm seeing if you solve that problem first, and you fill yourself with love and feel fulfilled within yourself, and come at it from the perspective of, I have so much love bubbling from me, I want to share it with a baby. That's very different and more attractive to a baby being than I feel empty, I need a child to fulfill my needs. So I hope that makes sense. And then the other lady is called N. Will I have more children? If so, when? So I won't predict the future for you, but I will look at the energy around it now for you. So I'm curious how, don't write to me and say, tell me, but if I had you here, I'd want to know how many kids you have and how old they are. But it looks like your energy is spread out, as often a mother's energy is, in being the caretaker, in being the nurturer of the family. And that gives you purpose. And makes you feel fulfilled. And what I'm seeing is, being a mother's not your only purpose this lifetime, but there's a concept within you that almost believes that it is, or that you need that. And so, sometimes as the kids will grow older, then a woman will want more babies to fill the gap as the other ones are growing up. And that's actually a biological instinct as well. And so I'm seeing that, let's see. To me, it looked, okay, so that said, as a general thing to say, it looks to me like it is your intention to have more children. And it is very much a part of your purpose this lifetime to be a mother. And that it is something that you are really wanting. But I'm also seeing that there's something else. Let's see if we can get at it. And if you're not one of these two women, but you're watching this because it's a question that you would ask, listen to what I say to them, because it may very well apply to you. Nothing else is coming up to say. It looks like you want it, you believe you can have it, and that you're very much someone who enjoys focusing on that. I'm seeing that you have a lot of female creative energy. Female creative energy is the energy that allows the female body to create a baby. It also allows women to be very creative and to have extra energy to invest in other projects when they are not caretaking and nurturing children. And I'm seeing that part of what's behind your question is, I've just got all of this creative energy and it needs an outlet. And so the other thing that's coming up to say is child rearing and having more children is one way, but it isn't the only way. That there are other things that you could do with that energy that might be fulfilling to you. And I say that in a general way for other women listening as well. Because to me, and it does look like kids is on your agenda. But what I want to say is, if for some reason it doesn't happen, there are other avenues for you to express your creative energy. All right, well, I hope that's helped people who would ask the question, am I going to have a baby, or will I have more babies? If you're watching this and you want to send me a specific question, there's a form on this webpage you can put in your question. And if you want to receive general teachings once a week, a bit like this one, then there's a link to a page where you can find out how to do that.